Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For today I've created something that's a little bit more burgundy. I had so many people on my Instagram asking me to recreate this and I just never quite got around to doing it. Normally when I sit down and have the intention of creating something and then end up doing something completely different, and that's kind of what's happened every time I've sat down to do this. And I've also changed the backdrop. I don't know if anybody's noticed, let me know what you think, because I got the wallpaper and was like, do I look like I'm in a dungeon? I'm not entirely sure. Let me know if you prefer the sparkly backdrop or the brickwork backdrop. Enough rambling, because I definitely have a tendency to do that. If you like what you see and you want to learn how I created this look, then just keep watching.
Hey everyone, so I just thought I'd start with my brows. I've had a few people asking me about a brow tutorial or to include my brows in my videos, so I thought I would include them at the beginning of this. I'm just using Spiked Pencil by MAC and I'm just doing hair-like strokes, running it basically just through the brow. I go a little bit higher than my natural brow, but you'll find that I clean that up with the eye base in a second, so just keep kind of feathering the pencil pretty much just through the brow and then going really soft when I go at the front. I start about a third of the way in and it stops the brow looking really harsh. And I just take my finger and then slide it right down my face, and it just kind of cleans the tail up a little bit. And then feathering in some of the hair strokes at the front just to create that really soft look. So the brows are pretty much done. I'm then going in with a little bit of the EYEKO tinted brow gel. I absolutely love this stuff. It's really wet looking and it just creates so much dimension. I prefer it more than any other brow gel that I've really used. And now I'm taking the PLOUISE eye base. I have fallen in love with this eye base and it is absolutely unreal. It's really hydrating and I'm just obsessed with it at the minute. It also makes your blending with whatever you're doing amazing. You'll actually see in a minute you can almost blend a little bit too much. It's taken me a while to get used to using this compared to things like concealers, but I'm a complete convert and I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I'm just patting this all over the eye with a 252 brush from MAC. I like to go a little bit further out of my eye base, so I cover pretty much all of the eye and then basically a little bit further as well, and I do that just because I don't know quite how far I want to bring my eyeshadow out, and it's better to have too much base on than not enough. So now I'm just starting with the eyeshadow. This is Makeup Geek Shadow in EARLYBIRD, and I'm just popping this all the way through the eye, creating a little bit of a soft transition shade just so that burgundy's not blending out into absolutely nothing. Doing the same again on the other eye. I'm using the Morphe brush. Again, I keep forgetting what brush numbers these are, so I will leave them down below or somewhere for you so you guys can see. And I'm just taking a clean brush and I'm just buffing away any of that shadow that might have got a little bit too far in and just creating a really soft blend into nothing. Now I'm going into Melkior Professional. This is the shade Lilith, and this is one of my all-time favourite burgundy shades. It's such a beautiful colour when it goes on the eye. Just really getting that on. Not particularly concerned about how blended it is at the minute. I'm just really packing on the colour and getting the colour pigment that I want on the eye, and then I'll go in with my brush and blend that out in a second. I keep looking up so that you can see exactly how this is looking, if that makes sense. So yeah, just building up that colour. I go in about 5 or 6 times on each eye. And then I'm taking a brush with a tiny bit of that EARLYBIRD shade on and really blending. This is the part where you can see it comes up quite high because this base really does spread out the eyeshadow a lot more than what a concealer would. So you do have to be very conscious when blending with it. And then just taking a clean brush and really getting rid of any of that excess eyeshadow that I don't need and blending it into next to nothing pretty much. Again, because we lost a little bit of that colour when we blended that out, I'm going back in. These are the steps that I always say to people are pretty crucial. You blend, then you add, then you blend, then you add until you're happy with the blending and the colour payoff. And again, just taking a very small clean brush and really precisely blended around those edges. Because this is mainly the colour that we're using, we want it to be perfect. I'm now just placing some more of that Lilith shade right onto the lid with a fluffy brush. I don't like to pack colours on with a packing brush. I just prefer a softer brush that's got a little bit of density to it. So I'm now just applying some foundation. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This was the only full coverage that I had to hand. It's a little bit light for me, but I wanted to wear a full coverage with this look, and sometimes I feel like on camera a full coverage just looks a little bit better, and in pictures as well. But you could always do this with a lighter coverage if you wanted to. I'm just using an Aphrodite London brush. It's just a kind of regular standard buffing brush. I prefer using those kind of ones because even though I like to use a full coverage, I don't want to literally cake it on. So this will help buff it out in all the places that I need to buff it out in pretty much. And now I'm just going in with a little bit of the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. This is in the shade C8 and it's like my favourite shade and favourite concealer. So I'm just putting that under my eyes and blending it out. I'm using a dry beauty blender. I always have done. I don't know, I prefer it dry if I'm honest. I like to really get precisely under my eye with the corner and then just pretty much blend it all out. So then I'm just taking that Early Bird shadow underneath the eye. I'm not being particularly precise at this point because I'm going to use my beauty blender to clean it all up anyway. So I'm just taking that quite low down underneath and then on the other eye as well. And then going in with a little bit of that Melkior Professional Shadow in Lilith on a little... This is a Morphe version of the MAC 221. I wasn't mad at this brush, it's just a little bit too soft, but I'm using it underneath my eye, it still works. I'm just popping that and running it quite low down underneath my eye as well. And then just buffing over with a slightly clean brush. And then I'm just taking my beauty blender to get rid of any of that excess that might have come down a little bit too far and just make sure the blend is really seamless. Now I'm going in with Trophy Wife from Fenty Beauty. I absolutely adore this colour and I just think it's absolutely insane. So I love it as an inner corner highlight, and I'm just using a little bit on the brow bone in a second as well, but I really wanted a bright gold yellow colour. Just taking a clean brush and then buffing the two together so there's a seamless blend. And now I'm taking the NYX Glide On pencil. This is in the shade Jet Black, and I'm just running this in the waterline, tight line in my eye, but not bringing it too far down. This was just the brush I used to buff under the eye, and just running that underneath there. And doing the same on the other eye. And then just popping on a little bit of mascara. This is just MAC's Extended Play. And then I'm just applying my bronzer. I'm just using MAC Dark Tan. I'm using a Morphe brush as well. It's like a bigger paddle brush. I just prefer using something that's a bit bigger to apply my bronzer rather than something that's a little bit more flat and round, just building up that bronzy shade. And then I'm applying my highlight, little bit of BECCA, Opal and Trophy Wife by Fenty Beauty, and I'm just running my brush over them to blend it all together. Now I'm just applying some Eldora lashes in H167, my ride or dies, my favourite ones ever, and they just always look absolutely amazing. Like no matter what look I do, these will forever be my ride or die eyelashes. And I applied some Kat Von D Bow and Arrow lip liner. I'm now just applying some Fenty Universal Gloss over the top to finish everything off. I did add some freckles as well. But this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a very requested look. Leave a like if you enjoyed this and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.